apologies from my side as well. I'm also coming from Pune. We all 6 o'clock, right? But anyway, I think one of the agility part when we talk in the chemical industry, right? It can be divided in two parts: pre-COVID and post-COVID. Yeah, it's like pre-COVID, particularly the chemical industry was pretty much organized. There were issues, but the disruptions, the volatility, what we call as the VUCA world now, it was not there at all in the chemical industry. But post 2020, things have changed dramatically. And since I'm taking care of entire supply chain, and when I say supply, entire means right from the demand planning till delivery to the customer, some of the logistics stuff that was discussed. Now, if we really want to be alive, very, very agile, then I must say that a lot of front-end work has to be done, whether it is the production, whether it is the procurement, whether it is the logistics, the planning, each of the functions related to the supply chain, they have to do a lot of front-end work. So I'll just pick up a few of the points here in the production side also, which has not been touched upon till so far. You see, pre-COVID, in the chemical industry, there are two types of processes mostly, batch process and what we call as in the process, continuous process. Now, pre-COVID, nobody used to talk about the multi-purpose plant, and there were very few. But post-COVID, now all the specialty chemical companies, all the chemical companies, I would say that most of them are focusing on multi-purpose plant. And the purpose of this multi-purpose plant is basically to be very, very agile to the market. So if there is a change in the market, if there is a change or the demand for a different kind of product in the market, then you are aligned with the equipment, the assets, to change from the earlier product to the new product very quickly. So your turnaround time increases. Similarly, when it comes to continuous process plant, the production process has to be aligned with that as well. So for example, a lot of new plants which are coming, they are focusing on swing plants. Again, the swing plants were there earlier, but it was not focused. There was no purpose behind it. Now there is a purpose that we know very well. Today there is one product which is in demand. Tomorrow again, all of a sudden, there will be a demand for different kind of products. So you need to have a swing plant which can take care of, all those swings. Very interestingly, the third aspect is, when you have the multiple products which are coming as a output, how are you preparing yourself for catering to the changing demands? For example, in my previous company, we used to have one product, and there was a side product to it. And we used to produce it in the ratio of, you can say, 60-40, roughly. But when we saw that the product which was produced 60% and the other was 40%, the demands were changing. And we were running out of production capacity. So we went through the catalytic process, we went through the R&D process, and we changed the entire catalytic process. We identified a new catalyst, and we created a capability that can swing us from production of, just reverse. 60-40 can become 40-60 also, can become 50-50 also. Now you have that flexibility, the agility actually, to cater to the market as per the demand pattern. So that's about, the production part. And I must say, and then there was one more fact. You must have, all the supply chain, particularly the procurement people must have heard that, the companies used to take up the shutdowns. And it was all pre-planned shutdown. That, some ethylene cracker is going to take a shutdown, let's say in January, and they used to announce it. Then somebody used to say that we'll take shutdown in June or July. And it was very well orchestrated earlier. But can we afford to do it today when we are living in such an agile world? No. So again, the production has to be very clear that they are ready for the shutdown, but they will take the shutdown when when the demand is going down. So the production shutdown also has to be aligned with the market. because you can't control the market, right? So that's the way even the shutdowns have also started changing. The pattern of the shutdown has started. People are postponing shutdown, and it's not that they are actually making the plant unsafe, but they are ensuring that the production is aligned perfectly with the market. So that's on the production side. On the procurement side, again, a lot of things have changed. Again, procurement is becoming very, very challenging. And, again, agility is must, particularly the chemical industry. The China, as everyone knows, is the biggest producer of chemical. And China can show the tantrums every month, every day, every year. Suddenly they declare that they are going to stop the supply of particular product, and then you are wondering what to do. So, alternate sourcing. You can't just depend on China. So that China plus one strategy somewhere, a lot of people talk about it in the marketplace. It is basically to create the agility. It is to create, create an alternate in such a VUCA world where you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, right? So, again, procurement is having a challenge, and you can address it by having a very pre-planned, and that's why I talked about the front-end loading, the front-end work, that all these things cannot happen overnight. You need to have a very robust strategy that these are the challenges that I can actually witness in the procurement side, in the production side, and these are my strategies to address it. And one by one, I will take it as a project, I will complete it, and I will ensure that yes, these risks are mitigated completely, and I am completely agile. Yeah. Then comes to the logistics part, of course. Now, logistics, obviously, people have talked about it, but again, chemical industry is having its own set of unique challenges. It's a hashtag. We recently saw, what happened where, there was a tanker which got tripped on the Bombay-Pune highway, and the entire highway was blocked. Now, if it was any other tanker, or if it was any other material for that matter, that could have been removed easily, and, the track would have started flowing. But in case of, again, chemical, you just can't do that. It's not that simple. And when the product is like propane. So again, the logistics is having its own set of challenges, and we need to understand what kind of orchestration that we are having to ensure that your customer is getting the material in time. And when I say this, again, what kind of structure you are having for identifying the transporters, what kind of structure you are having to identify the drivers who are actually running the vehicle, what kind of trucks that you are deploying, or what kind of, vessels that you are actually hiring, even for the export shipments also. So all that is very, very important. And if you do all this homework well ahead of time, then you are in a position to be very, very agile again. So fundamentally, I just touched upon all these areas because I feel that unless you have a very robust plan in place and execution for it, you just can't align yourself, in this chemical industry.